a one-act play written by Wolfgang Vogel. The title, Zero, the place where the voice falls through. Characters, patient, a figure suspended between memory, wilderness, and symbolic thought. Clinician, steady, listening, analytic presence. Mother appears through the patient's voice, tone, and posture. Movement 1, the cut. The stage is bare. A faint diagonal line glows on the floor. The patient stands near it, holding a stone and a twig. A quiet wind hums. The audience witnesses the ongoing session work between the clinician and the patient. Patient. Let's be clear. I've been talking about this nothing at the starting point. This no thing that shows up. It's a cut. It's an opening where missing objects appear. I need to say this again so you hear me. Specifically, 0 is the number that I'm talking about. The nothing that is something in our lives. This gap, this void, this chasm, something that was taken from us and we fall through. In my case, my mother, at a very early age, took my presence, my lack, my desire, and she took it for her own. She used it for herself. The patient traces a small, incomplete circle in the air. Movement 2, the birth of the in-between. Clinician, he sits in a simple chair, composed, watching. Clinician. And the key at this moment, this relationship between you and your mother, something was given birth at that point between you and her. Something, if you want to call it that, we'll call it imagination, because that's what it is. It is the birth of imagination. The difference between two things is what falls in between. Clinician leans forward slightly, then settles again. Movement 3, the opening of desire. Patient walks a slow arc along the glowing line, offering the stone outward as if presenting it. Patient. Yes, I understand the imagination, and there's always a need to be satisfied. An opening happened, it appeared, and then what I see is there was a chance for a new life with you. I mean, a new life with her, or is the new life that I promised for everybody, and then I've learned along the way to impinge on their desire and take up their lack. I mean, that's what happened to me. This lifetime of giving the other what they desire. It's a complete movement in and of itself. Lacan calls it perversion. And this shows up regularly in my life. It might as well be my middle name. Douglas Joseph Wolfgang Perversion Vogel. It kind of has a nice ring to it, doesn't it? Patient shifts the stone sharply to the side. Movement 4, the wilderness of echoes. The light cools. Patient moves upstage as if climbing an uneven ground. Patient. Mother, I'm calling out to you. I can't see you any longer. Your energy is fading behind the other images I've created. And I've disappeared. I disappeared into my home. I've disappeared into other people. And I regularly force myself to disappear into the wilderness. And I call out from there. I call out from the wilderness. And I wait for the echo to come back. I wait for the echo of the other. But it never comes. I wait here for the voice of the other, the voice that does not come back. What happens if I fall in between the cracks in this physical landscape? What happens if I fall through this opening? I'm surely not here, and I'm surely not there. He drops the stone. The sound lands heavy. Movement 5, the symbolic attempt to hold. Clinician remains still and active. Clinician. Okay, so right now you are there, but you are here right now as yourself, symbolically, the speaking you. Your subjective self is here with me right now. Is it not? Isn't it you directing all of this through your own desire, pushing forward? Isn't this what you are creating right now? Not strictly speaking, isn't this your imagination at play? Movement 6, the mother's claim. Patient lifts his gaze upward. His posture shifts, softer, then tightening. Patient as mother. Such a pretty toy. And such a lovely boy. Such a lovely plaything to take in and to hold as my own and to absorb. How fortunate for me, my last chance to live vicariously, to live through another. How lovely. I have my own plaything, my own boy to shape in my own desire. Something I never had, something I could never have, and something that I always wanted. Patient clutches his chest, possessive. Movement 7, the split and the fall. Patient steps closer to the glowing line, leaving the stone behind. Patient as himself. Well, I can see there is another who refuses, absolutely. Some part of me. No, it's better to say someone who cannot see me, someone who can't recognize me. She only structured herself to recognize her own needs, her own desires. And this brings up that lost thing in me. This brings up the split, this void, this opening. The parts of me can be overwhelmed by this nothing that erupts through this chasm. The lost object here that falls through, the result of the initial loss, unrecognized, unconscious, and showing up everywhere. There's an intensity to it. There's a desire to know about the other. And at times, I can feel myself falling through this opening, holding on to these desperate elements of my life. As I fall through. Somebody catch me. Is there anybody out there? Somebody, hold on, catch me. It feels like some unknown depth. And in some way, it feels like I'm dying. He lifts the twig between himself and the unseen other. Movement 8, the interpretation. Clinician adjusts something small, glasses, posture, a precise gesture. Clinician. So what you're telling me is that you were not reflected back, but you were captured and absorbed by your mother. There's some form of aggressivity in your tone right now that I'm noticing. Perhaps it's beneath your desperation. Are you acknowledging your anger right now? Movement 9, the bridge of objects. Patient kneels at the line, placing a small piece of wood beneath him like a fragile bridge. Patient, yes, I do recognize it, and I let it out. It's easy enough when I go home just to beat on a fucking pillow or driving in the country, screaming loud and long. And I find myself doing that, just screaming, just getting it out. But the question becomes, is this initial relationship with my primary caregiver a reflection of my ego directing me? Is this part directing me towards this in order to resolve it? Or is it just purely unconscious repetition? Perhaps it's just a fragment of my imagination. It's purely imaginary, something that I'm seeing that's just not there. Something that is nothing, this zero, this void, this place where I've fallen through, and these objects I hold on to, directed now through my voice, through language, through my body movements, through what I choose to hear, all remnants of things that were removed and they were barred, and something, it has to be replaced by something. He touches his throat, listening for his own voice, straining his eyes to see. Clinician. You, Doug, are not an object in this world. You are not a plaything. You are not pure imagination. But yes, you were an object to somebody else's desire. And some things at an early age were placed under erasure. And who knows what the child did after that? Movement 10, the threshold of unknowing. Patient retrieves the stone again, holding it close. Patient. Let's say I fell through. Let's say I unconsciously went back into the absorption, this lack of reflection. If you will, the Buddha with his eyes closed, a dead animal by the side of the road, whose open black eyes are still reflecting back, yet is lifeless and unconscious. What if I fell through the opening a long time ago and I don't know it? Clinician. What if we're always in the opening and not aware of it because consciousness cannot hold that for us? And as I say here now, speaking to you, this speaking subject, using language, now, this is what makes a difference in our lives. Us talking together. Movement 11, the cave of zero. Patient steps into the glowing line. Light swallows him. He removes himself to the side and then he walks upstage as if descending. Patient. Who am I? What am I doing here? I dreamt I was alive. I dreamt that life had meaning and that I could be someone. The patient makes several disorganized jumps while staying in place. I did jump. And I thought I could be somebody else. When I jumped, somebody else landed at the bottom of the chasm, inside of the void. I'm here inside of this emptiness, this nothing where nothing appears, no longer as constant reminders, but as a register of the real in an archive, in a library. And I'm here at the bottom. I look around at the wall, and the number 0 appears over and over again. It repeats throughout this wall of the cave that I've created. Let me ask you this. Can you add something to this nothing? Can you peel this away until only nothing remains? I keep reaching for it. I keep reaching for it and I keep losing it. And still I look into the void. I look into the void and the void looks straight back through me. This nothing that I speak of. It is an emptiness. It's a place where meaning slips by. It slips its name. Its quietness. It presses against my chest. Its unfinished edges, they pull at the soft parts of my wanting, my needing, my desire. Nothing plus nothing becomes the echo. The echo, the echo. And in that echo, I hear a part of me that keeps slipping out of my grasp. The patient steps to the front of the stage and releases the stone. It rolls into the darkness. Silence. Blackout.